Trying to make sure my levels are right because there's a balance. I want to. I want to pick up my voice through my microphone without picking up everything else, but then I can also increase the volume on the slider. Hope it sounds well, or good, or whatever. Um, this is not a stream for grammar. This is a stream for marbles, and marbles we have. Welcome everyone. I'm smiling because I have a water cup. I accidentally broke my water bottle a couple days ago. I have a bring it down a bit. I have a water cup, and I just realized it is the greatest water cup to have to just flash on camera. So excuse me a moment. I need to drink some water. Just got My Little Pony on it. Goodness me. All right, a lot to talk about on this one. Already seeing it on in the chat. CCE on the rise. The Plasma comeback is real. Plasma didn't go nowhere in their first appearance way back in 2018. So anything better than that is a comeback. Although they still playing Mike Jockey here. They didn't have any performance really outside of that, outside of 2018. We had MMX, ooh-wee. We had M1, ooh-wee. Qualifiers, ooh-wee. And now here we are, or Showdown. Missed the Showdown. Look at me, that's my great... That's my best JMR impression. Just forgetting that the Showdown is a thing. Showdown M1. Now here they are in the league. Got to talk about that. So let's get into this. Although there is one thing I have to mention first, because didn't realize it was a thing last go around. But the Savage Speeders, hate talking about them, but I gotta give them credit where credit is due. They are the first team to eclipse 1,000 franchise points in the Marble League. So congrats to the Savage Speeders. 1,000 points took them 101 events to do. That is not adjusting. Oh, that is loud. Or is it? I don't think that's so loud. That is not adjusting for the 2016 weirdness in those point systems. That is just as is. So, yeah, 1,000 points, which means they average 10 points an event. And that is accounting for the fact that if you were in the bottom 8 in an event in 2016, you got no points. That is what that is accounting for. So 10 points an event for almost 10 years now. So that is better than most, definitely better than some, definitely better than a lot of these teams and how these teams performed during the Steeplechase. Quick question. Got to move the mic a bit closer. Quick question, and I know the answer is going to be yes. Is this the worst Steeplechase that we've had? And normally I don't ask questions off of the get-go. But was this the worst steeplechase? Because ...2017 was just the best, and I guess that we're comparing everything to that. I guess when I want a steeplechase, I just want the 2017 steeplechase, and it's not Rangers bias. I mean, there's Rangers bias for whatever I do. Okay. Just watching the yes column absolutely inflate on that. Because 2017 steeplechase was just amazing. No other event was like it, and I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. Give me this event again. And then 2021, steeplechase is on the docket. Ooh, steeplechase? We're getting steeplechase? Because back brain, right? It's going to be that 2017 steeplechase. It was not the 2017 steeplechase. It was not on Sandy Hill outside. It was inside in 2021. Way worse compared to the 2017. And then just minutes before this dropped at noon local time for me because I'm in one of the worst time zones in some instances, right? I like to maintain that it's the worst time zone. So at noon, it drops. And about 11:40, Jim and Mino say that it is outside. So I'm like, yes! Yes! We get an outside steeplechase. And then Greg comes out here, says it is 4 jumps. And I go, oh no. That means that it is going to be a very quick and very sloppy event. Because remember, flashback to 2021, inside, very quick, very sloppy, whole lot of sticks falling, whole lot of penalty points being assigned. And I knew that it was just gonna be that. It was just gonna be that. So here we go. Starting in the stadium. So I know a lot of people clowned on this graphic saying ROLDO's hiding somewhere in the stadium. Oh, gee, that's helpful in an event that's taking place in a stadium. This time around, that is actually really helpful for the fact that this is an outdoors event, that we know that ROLDO is going to be inside and not outside USA. Still don't know where he is. I never know where ROLDO is hiding at all. That was a sound coming from the My Little Pony cup. But somewhere near, watching the silver medalists, and that was the Savage Speeders, right? That was the Savage Speeders. Already forgetting these things. I could probably check my minutes. They're not there, but I'm fairly certain it was the Speeders in that. I didn't even know where the Speeders were. How am I supposed to find ROLDO in the stadium? I didn't even know where the entirety of the Savage Speeders were. Yeah, so each team runs 4 athletes down steeplechase track. So this was the sum of the first and the second 2 finishers. I don't think that's how it was the last couple times. I'm fairly certain that was not how it was in 2021 or 2017 rather, that it was the third finisher, sort of like how the times were determined for the team pursuit, that it's the third finisher's time that matters. This time it's just the first two, so you only needed two finishers, which is what happened to a lot of these teams. And then every DNF or stick, you get a second. A lot of these times would have been insanely good times had it not been for those penalty seconds. And some of these times were great with the penalty seconds. ROLDO is in at 442. That'll be good to keep an eye out on. So we have the starting order. What determined the starting order? Because I am not sure how any of these things are. I would imagine, you know, reverse starting order or something like that. But this escapes me. Got them bees. Thought the bees were going to do better, you know, host team and all host curse. All it was bad. So those are the former Hornets finishing. You want to talk about success post-merger. Oh, it's actually alphabetical. Wow. Wow, just the immediate jump from G to M. No L because limers. That is very interesting. We should do a correlation map based on letter of the alphabet and how well the teams do. Alphabetical order. That is interesting. So the former Hornets putting the team on their back, both of the long tenured bumblebees getting hung up on each one. And it's such a quick event, just 7 seconds, 8 seconds per racer. Really 7.5. I don't know what the slowest times were, but we can check for sure after the event. But all of a sudden, just 2 DNFs, 1 stick. I'm so glad that we got the DNF out of the way on the bingo, because it's a DNF every single run, right? And DNF is basically a part of this event. They have it built in to the rule set. So of course there's gonna be marbles that aren't finishing. That being said, it was the DQ that really did it with the snowballs. An event won during the team pursuit. Moments like that, I kind of wish they brought back the -3 points. Could you imagine the snowballs going into this event with -3 points? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, forgot about that. Okay. YouTube is just ruining their platform. Completely forgot about that. They just want ads. And the best part, coming from someone whose job this is, right? YouTube is more or less my job. Okay, the fact that YouTube is ruining the viewing experience if you have an ad block on, and are basically forcing ads to the viewer under the pretense that it's helping creators, because creators rely on ads and whatnot, but then us creators don't see the money we should off of ads. We get like literal actual pennies from ads, and YouTube is still making billions. This is just going to make them more billions while sacrificing viewer experience. So that's just going to be the thing that is happening. YouTube Premium is so worth the money. Nah, not buying it. Not buying it. Because that's all they want you to do is either get premium or have an insanely bad viewing experience. And it's been this way. It's been going this way for a while, and now it's just like, hey, we don't care about the viewing experience, we just care about the money. So Cat's Eyes now knocked 1, knocked 2. So it really is this is what they did during the pursuit. All you need is have a fast time and no penalty no. Was there a penalty second in team pursuit? Yeah, I think there was. So just do fast enough. Race this fast enough that the penalty seconds just get negated, which is an absolute mad strat, right? Think about the tush push in the NFL. Every single team is screaming, crying that the Eagles are at an advantage because the tush push is unstoppable. But then other teams try to copy the tush push, and lo and behold, it is plenty stoppable. The other teams just suck, and the Eagles are just goated. They got the tush push down to a science. I think this is the crazy Cat's Eye strat going forward, okay? You just do better than the penalty second. Just go fast and don't even worry about it. We'd have to wait for the rest of these teams to get to Team Plasma's run, because they had the best, obviously, not just from a speed standpoint, but from just a technical standpoint. Greg mentioned we don't get a wind banner because normally we have sand conditions, weather conditions, the wind, how is everything. Didn't get this time around. Wind definitely seemed to be a factor, especially with the high walls. Wind and those high walls was just blowing all these marbles around. Glaciers had an okay run starting, and it's going to, you're going to see this through every single run. You come out of that jump, and you just can't stay off the walls. And it's part wind, but also just part track design, right? You have so much momentum coming out of the first two. You sort of run with the momentum coming out of the second one, but then you just right into another wall, right? And just lose all your momentum and try to get it back. And that one gives you a bad time, and two, doesn't get you the speed to jump those sticks. You need the speed to jump those sticks. If you don't have the speed, you're just going to knock them down. Add even more penalty seconds to it. Add even more time for your time. And then mellow yellow. They had an all right run. It was just that last hurdle because they were put in some work, but it was just that final hurdle that did it. I thought they were gonna get a better time. And then a DNF. Only 2 sticks, though. So, there are 3 sticks and the DNF, but then we get this run under investigation, and I'm like, huh? You know, you see this banner, you just flash back to 2021 triathlon. It's like, okay, who's punching who? Who's punching who? Who's getting DNQ'd? But this is just a one team at a time. And they said it was wind knocking down a stick. And I don't know when that happened. Okay, I gotta slow it down. We're gonna break out Grog Woods already. Already we're breaking out Grog Woods. Because there's a few things that I wasn't able to see.
So much can go.
Oh. Okay, accidentally muted. So
much can.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a better angle. That is a better angle. So we have the marble jumping clean over. Clean over. And then the stick falls before this marble even makes contact. Before the marble even makes contact, that stick is in motion.
Can go wrong just like that for the midnight wisp.
And then they knock that stick. And then I want to see this one because it seemed like a lot of teams were going under this final one. Okay, they bonked that. Wow, and that was your DNF. Okay, yeah, there are some marbles that definitely just go under that one. Yeah, this was just a rough one to watch, honestly. Gonna bring this back. Nope. Yeah, that was so. I see that. I'm like, what the heck happened? Turns out that it was in their favor. It was an investigation in their favor. So taken fourth, believe they took 5th overall, coming out of this one. And then the O Rangers. Pain. 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 all sorts of pain, all the DNFs, all the slow time. Yeah, that's almost a 9-second time. Plasma ran this almost 6 flat. 6 flat, and you're... I need a moment. And the Pinkies. Thought the Pinkies were gonna do better. Flashback to the Pinkies 2017 Steeplechase. Yeah, that was rough. The DNF, you can see the divot. You can see the divot. Okay, so careen into the stick drops you straight down, no momentum DNF. But you have all this momentum, and it's just, you just get hung up in the track. Talk about a track defect. I think this whole track is defective. If we're being honest. Because that is just rough. And maybe this is just a holdover for me being the #1 Pinky stan. But I think the Pinkies got screwed a bit on this timing and scoring. Right? I think the Pinkies should have done better. I had high hopes for the Pinkies. Reigning champs. Raspberry Racers got absolutely curdonkled. And you could see they were getting nothing but wall. Look, wall, and then stick, and then wall, and then no momentum after that wall, so that's just more stick, which is just a domino effect of penalty points. Was 5 the most sticks knocked? It's a technical track, have to run it well, not just coast. I guess that it is a technical track. But every single team was on the struggle bus. Oh, here we go with the rollers. Knock the stick. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. 2 sticks. 2 sticks and fast times. No DNFs from their crew. That is just how you want to run. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did different than these other teams. But this first jump, they just got good angles, maintained their speed, maintained their momentum. Nice hopping. It was their straggler doing it. I think a lot of these teams, they had their members in the front knocking everything down because you run into the wall, no momentum, run into the stick, no momentum, you just keep knocking sticks down. That was their slowest one. That was their straggler knocking the stick down, oopsie doopsie. Right? And the same thing again, is your first 2 finishers where the time counts, and it was the back 2 that knocked down the sticks, and there's only 2 sticks. So that is a very solid run. Very solid run by the Rojo Rollers. Can't fault them for it. I know I was bemoaning the Pinkies with their success. I actually like that the Rojo Rollers... Oh, perfect timing. I like the fact that the Rojo Rollers were at the start of everything, at the top of everything provisionally. the one thing that I find peculiar is the fact that they cut to the stadium shot. And they don't do a halfway point, because usually they run 8, show the standings, run 8. This time they run 9, do the break, and run 7. I don't know why they were lopsided on this go around. And oh geez, the O Rangers. So what is that? Rojo Rollers fastest out of any of the teams. Not sure what that means. In last Steeple, from 2021, because they were in that. Forgot about that. Yeah, so I guess Rojo Rollers and Steeplechase, that's just their events. How about that? And then the O Rangers. O Rangers, somehow not the slowest. Don't know how slow the slowest was, but that is slow. If both of your racers are going over 8 seconds, that is slow. So, you got Rojo Rollers, Cat's Eyes, and the Glaciers. Like, that is almost your podium. It does not stay that way, but that is almost your podium because of the penultimate run of the day. I don't believe Greg said penultimate either. So someone will have to say, oh my god, he said penultimate, he said the thing, when we go into the bingo time. O Rangers. Here's the thing about the O Rangers. Even if they got no DNFs, even if the O Rangers got no DNFs, they would have still taken second. They would still be the slowest out of this bunch. I think they would have been the slowest of them all. I think it was just Swarm getting more penalty seconds added on to their time that tanked them behind the O Rangers. But yeah, after that run, I knew that the O Rangers weren't going to do nothing. Unfortunately, just wasn't their time. This was not the 2017 Steeplechase. Savage Speeders, I remember how they did in 2021, and I know that it wasn't going to go well for them. Although it started out pretty well, but they got knocked by the front one. Yeah. That was just rough. That was just absolutely rough. Also, no replays. At least some of them, I think I'd appreciate a replay. This one just went so quick. Oh, and there's ROLDO? Where's ROLDO? Wait. They said he's in the stadium. And they said, yeah, 420, 442. But he was in the stadium. I thought the graphics said he was in the stadium. $440. Oh, okay. That's deceptive. I thought that was one of the Savage Speeders. Because then they do the pan over, and they're like, oh dang. Because it said that they got 2 DNFs and 2 sticks, and then it panned back to the DNFs. You got 1 DNF and the sticks. I thought that was one of the Savage Speeders. That's ROLDO. Cotton 4K HD widescreen format, 1080p 70mm IMAX Oppenheimer stuff. Yeah, I thought that was one of the members of the Savage Speeders. Maybe ROLDO should be on the Savage Speeders. But I don't think they need any help. And then the Swarm. So there's a stick. There's another stick. All the sticks and 2 DNFs. So, you know, in stark contrast to how the Rojo Rollers ran, where it was the slowest of the bunch that knocked them down, and even the slowest finished. Let's get some Grog Woods on it. And even better, we'll have some of the chant for the Shining Swarm slowed down. ROLDO next coach. That'd be lovely.
Shining Swarm come through now.
I swear. So good off of the first one. And who was... It was the front. It was the leader knocking that one down because it's already in motion by the time the second marble jumps. And then that trips people up. Clean over the second one, though.
Side by side.
But then they just can't stay off the wall. And that's definitely the wind being a factor. Look at how they just can't get off of that wall. It's almost looked like they're going uphill, right?
Side by side.
By side. So that just knocks the stick.
Positions
Slow, knocking a bunch of other sticks. And that just stops all of them.
Disaster.
All the 6 penalty. 4 sticks, 2 DNFs. Still faster than the O-Rangers. Okay? Still by a second. By a second and a half even. Still better than the O-Rangers, but all those penalty seconds costing them. Thank you, Swarm. I could not have the O-Rangers take the goose egg. No way, no how. That couldn't have happened. I would have been very displeased. And still displeased that they took 15th, don't get me wrong. But the O-Rangers did it to themselves, and they were just not in control of their own destiny for anyone to get a worse time, and here come the Shining Swarm with the worst time. In fact, the worst time of the bunch, the only one worse than the O-Rangers. Thank you, Shining Swarm. And then the Snowballs. Ready for this? Ready for this? Knocked one down. Knocked a couple down. Still better than the O-Rangers. Really anything is gonna be better than the O-Rangers. Kudos to the Snowballs getting their first points in a Marble League that they qualified for. How about that? Kudos to the Snowballs. They did it. They got points. They got points. Think about it. Think about it. The Snowballs got points in the Marble League 2023. Green Ducks can't say that. Who really is the better team now? Four sticks, though. Team Galactic actually looking purple for once. That was one of the big things coming out of this event. It might be the natural lighting. It might be that they swapped them out. I don't know. Maybe they got, some beauty sleep or something. But for once, the purple space team is purple. So how about that? And again, a medalist from last year. Pretty bad, very bad, all fell apart. Still got all 4 marbles finishing. But them 4 sticks, not good. You want to leave those sticks on the track and not off the track. And then Team Momo. Yeah. It is bad. Felt bad. Still got all the finishers, but knocked down all these sticks. 5 of them. 5 sticks. And there's still better. Someone who is better than I, more patient than I, because there's a lot of numbers involved. I'm sure it's already been done at this point. But see, if the penalty points didn't exist, if you didn't get penalty points for DNF or for stick, how would these times have shook up? Because I'm pretty confident that the O-Rangers still would have taken dead last. 8 seconds is abysmal. Can't even beat the Snowballs. Team Momo knocked down 5 sticks. They still did better than you. The Seattle Momos. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I want to hate it. Never have I hated something that I completely agree with. Now here we go. The run of the century. This is what we all wanted Team Plasma in the main show for. 1 stick, 2 stick, 3 stick, all sorts of speed. Don't matter, no penalty points. Don't matter, no penalty points. All you have to do is go faster than a penalty point. Penalty second, whatever. All you have to do is go faster than the sum of those penalty seconds. That's what the Cat's Eyes did last event. Can't say last week. It was 2 days ago. Cat's Eyes did that in the first event. They did it again this time. Team Plasma was like, hey, maybe we should try that. We are here because of speed. This is an extremely speedy team. Well, I watched that. Didn't even need no replay. Didn't even know graphic. I'm like, wow. We just watched the gold medal run. With 1 team left. And you know the Thunderbolts aren't going to do anything. Look at it. Clean off of the first one. Not clean off of the second. Man, this event is just so fast. So it was the second right here. Getting an odd angle. That is reverse. Getting an odd angle off of the jump. Taking a bounce off of that. But clean over the third. And then that wall, all that wind, all that momentum. That is a pretty sizable jump, though, for that one. Knock one, knock another. But sub 7 for both of these. And only 3 sticks. That is clean. 13.6. Clean. Okay, now they do have the time. Okay, so I don't need to do any math. Because they have the time and then they have the DNF. This is a good graphic. This is very, very explanatory, very concise, very informative, very easy to look at. You have the 2 finishers, their times combined, the DNFs, the sticks, all those added together, and then that added to the time, and then the placement. That's a very good graphic. Give an applause to the graphic one time. The graphics don't get enough praise. This is a good graphic. And the Thunderbolts. You can't show that up. It's impossible. How are you gonna do that? I mean, it was all right, and then it wasn't. That last one. So, like, we are at... I mean, that stick, you're fine. You cross at 7-something, you can do all right. I thought the Thunderbolts were gonna... Wait for it. Wait for it. Shock us. I thought the Thunderbolts were gonna shock us. But they're the Thunderbolts. So just a bad bounce there. Knocking all sorts of sticks. Hanging up the entire team. And the DNF. And the slow times. 11th. 11th. So just subtract 2 from that. About 12 seconds. About 14 seconds. 16 seconds. If you don't knock down one of the sticks, you don't get the DNF. So all you're worrying about is 2 sticks. So that's 16 seconds. We need these results. Rangers to finish 4th in ML23. That's generous. But like, here's hoping. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So I think just with how the Pinkies did last year, it seemed like every single podium was surprising me. This podium didn't surprise me. Team Plasma, Rojo Rollers, Crazy Cat's Eyes. You know what I'm thinking looking at this? Good. Good for them. Good for Team Plasma. Good for the Rojo Rollers. Good for the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Didn't even realize that the Crazy Cat's Eyes made it to the podium just because we didn't see the standings after everything. Yeah, so, okay, so here's the breakdown. With the time, with the penalties, O-Rangers taking dead last still. O-Rangers are taking dead last in this. They had the worst run of them all, the worst times of them all. The only time, because both of them were doo-doo, to start with the number 8. Very bad, 17 seconds. Team Plasma, the only 2 to start with the number 6. And the only total to be 13 seconds. So numbers go burr. I'm sure someone has reorganized this just on the raw time, not accounting for penalty seconds. Team Plasma wins regardless. O-Rangers are in the basement regardless. Best stat. Best stat. It took Team Plasma. You got 4 events to qualify. 2 events to get a gold. I'm holding that. 6 events. Okay? In their first year back-ish. Asterisk. Their first year competing in a qualifiers. They were back last year. They didn't qualify in 2018. It took, good measure. Good measure, why not? Let's throw in the 8 events last year in the showdown. So we have 8 from the showdown, 4 from qualifiers, and 2 so far in this league. Wow, 2 already. Time flies. Time flies. So you have 14 events to get to this point. No, you have 14 points. Yeah, 14 events because it's 8, 4, and 2. So you have 14 events in just 2 years. Ish. Really 1 calendar year. It took, count it, 12 months, 11 months, 10 months. Took 14 events to do what Team Plasma did this in 14 events. It took 14 events for Team Plasma to do what the Cobalts haven't done ever. 8 years. Not 8 events. Not 8 whatever. 8 years. The Cobalts have never gotten Marble League Gold. They have 2 silvers in 2016 and have not qualified since then. They're relegated. The days counter keeps going up. It took Team Plasma 2 events to get a gold. The Cobalts have gone 8 years and counting, haven't even gotten to this point. Unbelievable. Team Plasma looking like the team that everyone thought we were going to see. They are looking like they are that team. They have the absolute world on their shoulders because MMX happened, the announcement happened, right, of them coming back to the league, and then they show up in the showdown, do well, clinch a qualification spot after 4 events, do better than the Balls of Chaos after 4 events, win the showdown, go to M1 when there are seemingly other worthy teams that should be in Marbula 1. Do okay-ish in Marbula 1. Win their group in qualifying. And they have an absolute world of hype. An absolute world of hype behind them. And as many people were saying, this is going to be your champion. This is going to be the team to look out for. And I'm in that crowd. I was saying, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a team to look out for. And then on the flip side, you have all the people saying it is overhyped because you still have people talking about Limer's 2023 champs with the Fruit Circuit Fruit Circuit prophecy, right? So you think that the hype for Plasma's getting overblown because the hype for the Limers was overly blown, which they are the Limers. But for Team Plasma, in just 2 events, get their first Marble League Gold. Something that has escaped teams who have been here for years. Cobalts haven't qualified. Sliders haven't qualified. Solar Flares haven't qualified. They don't have Marble League Gold. Cobalt's been trying and failing for 8 years. 8 years. For Team Plasma to show up and show out. We could be looking at your 2023 Marble League champs, people. Team Plasma could go on an absolute run, and even if they don't, they still have that gold. They still have something that the Cobalts haven't gotten in 8 years. 8 years! This is absolutely insane for Team Plasma to live up to the hype. And kudos to them. Congrats to them. Same deal with the Rojo Rollers. Rojo Rollers getting their first medal since 2021. Their first silver, I believe. I do have it on my minutes. Look at me coming to class prepared. Rollers' first silver since Event 4 of 2016. They had 2 golds that year. And that silver. And they had the bronze back in 2021. So their first silver since 2016. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot on my minutes. But it was really just to take a look at all these numbers, all the standings. Bees, very mid. Swarm O-Rangers, Raspberry Razors, and Snowballs in the bottom 4. That was just very sad to see. Very sad. Okay, Wisps ended up in 6th. That was pretty solid. Mellow Yellow did better than I thought. Up in 5th. Gliding Glaciers, Glide for Glory up in the 4th spot. But Team Plasma, Rojo Rollers, and Crazy Cat's Eyes. That is a very solid podium, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Honestly, would not be surprised if that was the final podium. But we still have Team Momo ML 2023 champs incoming because Momo best team. And 14 events, still anything can happen. Still plenty of time for these teams. Which is why I am not too concerned with how these there's that final run. Not too concerned with these standings. Because throwback to event 4 of 2022, I said that the Shining Swarm were dead. They were at the very bottom. I said that nothing was going to happen. They're going to stay that way. How you doing? Keep it moving. You run the table. 4 straight medals. The 5th would have cured what ails them. It was just out of reach. But the Shining Swarm, after a start like this, last year ran the table, ended up on the final podium. That is why I am not saying anything about anything for how the standings are shaking up at the moment, especially as the basement pertains. Because if you recall anything about Team Momo from last year's showdown, is that they also run the table. So I am not losing sleep on Team Momo having only 8 points after 2. But Crazy Cat's Eyes, 40 points after 2. They got a bronze and a gold. Or gold and a bronze if you want to go chronological with it. Kudos to them. Man, I mean, they've had these showings in the previous years, right? 2018 they joined, finished 10th, I do believe. 2019 finished 11th, I do believe. But then you have like a 7th and a 5th. So Crazy Cat's Eyes are an not insanely good per se, but they are moving up. They have been building to this point. Let's hope it continues for the Cat's Eyes fans. They deserve it. They are a lot better than what people give them credit for. I will say that. Team Plasma, jumping 7 spots with that gold. That, I mean, golds do that, right? You get some bonus points for those medals. And that drops the speeders. Rollers move up with their medal. And then just the rest of them. Just the rest of them. Yeah. O-Rangers and Raspberry Racers dropped 6 spots. Sad times. But again, 2 down, 14 events to go. Anything can happen, especially with hurdles on Saturday. I will talk about those in, Discord and Twitter. But I do like my Saturdays, and I have my calendar here. I have I'm looking at this. So we're gonna get to the bingo. But I also should make predictions for these. Just jinx some teams. Hurdles. Give me the O'Rangers, the Pinkies, and Team Galactic. Give me those in that order for the hurdles. That is on Saturday. I will do the stream on Monday. I do like having Saturdays as a weekend. And since it doesn't have to be at 1 Pacific, I might move that to noon, maybe even 11. Well, yeah, maybe even 11. Have to remember when the time switches. I believe EU gets off of daylight savings October 29th, and then North America follows suit November 5th, because they do the last Sunday in October and we do the first Sunday in November, even though time is just weird. All right. Did I get any bingos? Oh, yeah, and the snowballs. Snowballs are going to stay there. Could you imagine if we had disqualification points being -3? Snowballs would have 0 points. Man, that'd be funny. Yeah, I'm not losing sleep on a lot of these teams in the bottom half. But Crazy Cat's Eyes and Team Plasma, those are your teams to look out for. Here's the thumbnail. If we really want to look at this. Got the oops all berries, but it's oops all penalty seconds because there's just DNFs everywhere, sticks falling everywhere. Kind of ruins it. You just really want a clean run. And maybe that's why everyone's loving 2017, at least why I'm loving 2017, because it just had more clean runs. That DNFs and sticks falling were a bit more of a rarity instead of the common occurrence. Then we have the don't like sand. I did make any mention for the fact that this is about Steeplechase. Like, normally I would write Event 2 Steeplechase. I might add that later. But then we got the O-Rangers, oh no, we suck again. And then we have the snowballs in the trash. No Marson. This was a rush job. I don't have the text about which event it is, and I don't have Marson. That's how you know. Hold on. Let me fix this up real quick. Need the Marson. It's never a thumbnail without one. I wonder if I can rotato potato onto the box. All right, scale that down more. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then gonna write what's a good font? Oh geez, why is it underneath everything? Steeplechase. Century Gothic bold. I think that's because I wanted something that started with C because of CCE last year. We do have streetwear, which is the O Rangers font. I might do brush script because that's a good plasma one. It's also a good speeders one. Maybe not that one. Of course, we always have beatdown. We do have beatdown. That's the thesaurus, part of the Thesaurus Dinosaurus logo. Yeah. Oh, bold. Can we do it? Ooh, maybe not this. I mean, Comic Sans is always a go-to. Impact's always a go-to. Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with good old Impact font. Bottom text. All right, then. Oop. Nope, that is Control Open. There we go. Select border. Boom. Rotato potato. That away. Boom, there we go. That's a better thumbnail. So Rojo Rollers got on the podium. Did not get the bees. That is unfortunate that the bees didn't. Hopefully the Rojo Rollers can get back there. Am I turning into a Rojo Rollers fan? Is this my descent into being a Rojo Rollers fan? No event delay due to bees. Still a lot of things we have to wait for the end and the final podium. Did Greg say penultimate? Because I need to know. It's very important. If he did, someone will let me know, and then anything I can go back and add that on. Maybe Team Plasma he did not say penultimate. Sad times. Sad times. Man, what a run. What a run by Team Plasma. Greg didn't mention the duck, didn't even mention the bee, which you don't need to mention the bee there. Yeah, so I guess no bingo for today. Sad times. let me mark down what I said for the 5-meter sprint, which was O's, Pinkies, and Team Galactic on the podium for that, just so I don't forget. Let's hope that ages well. We'll see Saturday, and then I'll see Monday, and I'll put out some thumbnail ahead of that. Probably over the weekend. I'll put out an announcement about when I'm doing the stream on Monday. So yeah, got through the minutes, got through lauding over Team Plasma and the Rojo Rollers and the Crazy Cat Size. Gonna be teams to watch out for. And of course, you still got the big players. You still got, you know, Savage Speeders. Still got Dio Rangers there. Thank you to YouTube for absolutely ruining your platform. So, yeah, 2 down. 14 to go. 5-meter hurdles on Saturday. Knee-jerk reactions on Monday. Probably going to be a lot of things to talk about after that one. Yeah, qualifiers roast. Qualifiers roast will come out, knocking on wood, next week. I'm going to work on it today. If you really want to, hold on just a second. Make sure nothing incriminating gets shown. No, here we are. Here we are. If you wanna see what my life is like, we do have this is my voice. I've been going in this morning, making sure all the levels are nice, cutting out all the dead space, adding the whooshes. That's what this is up here in the sort of viewfinder. This is a bunch of different whooshes. I usually stick to just these two, alternating them. I'm going in, adding those in, and then I can add the clips that I want. So I have just the qualifiers for this year and the event 1 and event 16 from last year to talk about some of these teams. And I'm going to go and add some other clips as I go along. That is, if I'm being honest, that's very sloppy editing because so much of Premiere Pro is file-based. So you really want to have all of the clips that you want in one folder. Bring that folder in so you know where everything is. Because I was like, oh, I want this clip that I used in this video. And then I can't find that clip because it wasn't put in a particular folder. That happens a lot to me. So if you ever get into video editing, be more organized than I am, is my advice. So my video is still gonna be on. It's still at the bare bones stage, but I'm hoping to get it done by next Friday. So not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. So that'll be that. Yes, Waluigi exit card time. That is the time it is, because I got through all my minutes, and I got through all the teams I wanted to laugh at and talk about. So yeah, and it's been an hour. So there you go. I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good weekend. As always, Waluigi is going to take us out. Take care. Bye-bye.